Good morning, Hojo staff, students, and families. Yateben. We're ready to start our day, so please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Eyes are on the flag. Voices are off. Bodies are still. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Well, good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, September 30th. It's a little different today. My phone I usually use to take my videos seems to be broken, and so that means it's hard to play the music because it's just technology. We had a hard day of technology, and it seems to be happening again today. But what can we do, right? So we just have to roll with it. So I'm going to try to play some music. Hopefully you can hear it. And tell me what we're listening to and who the composers are.
Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. When you read, you begin with A, B, C. When you sing, you begin with do, re, mi. Do, re, mi. Do, re, mi. The first three notes just happen to be do, re, mi. Do, re, mi. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti.
I hope you could hear that. It was on max volume, but it was pretty quiet. So what were we listening to? It's the piece that Mrs. Neff has selected for us this week. Do, Re, Mi by Rodgers and Hammerstein in the musical Sound of Music. That's right. Okay, friends. I have a piece of artwork to show you, and it's a little large, so I'm going to disappear for a minute. You can tell me what is it that we're looking at. I'm going to close this computer screen. Hopefully there's still a little bit of a glare. What's the name of that piece? American Gothic. That's right, by Grant Wood. Painted in the 30s, kind of depicting what it's like to be an American in the Midwest, American farmers back in the 1930s. Okay, and I have another piece. This is by the same artist, whose name is Grant Wood. And this piece is called The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. Do you see right here? If you Google this picture online, you can see Paul Revere on a horse right here, going through from Boston all the way down through the suburbs, through Lexington and Concord, to let the people know the British were coming. But he wouldn't have said the British are coming, because the British are, they were British citizens at that time, because this was before the American Revolution. So everybody who was in the colonies were citizens of Britain, or England, so therefore there were taxes that had to be paid, and that caused kind of the stir that brought us to the Revolution. So, and many of you have had Longfellow, and if you were in 4th grade, you memorized the poem, The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere by Longfellow. Remember I showed you his house where I grew up? He lived down the street from where I grew up, 100 years or so before I was born, but and the 4th grade has learned the poem from Longfellow. Listen, my children, and you shall hear the midnight ride of Paul Revere. On 18th of April in 75, hardly a man is still alive. Do you remember that, 4th grade? Hope you do. 4th grade from last year, 5th graders now, and even our 6th graders now. So other art, so we don't forget. Leonardo da Vinci, Vitruvian Man. How about this one? Winslow Homer, Nor'easter. How about this one? Mary Cassatt and the Boating Party. Hopefully we're not forgetting our artists. How about the architecture? Now, last night, if any of your parents have watched, there was a debate. And the two people who were debating are trying to be the person who lives and works in this building, the White House, right? This is the back of the White House. And so we're having a presidential election. So we vote somebody in, and we hire them because they do get paid it. But they are head of the executive branch of our government. And our government has how many branches? 3. That's right. And the president is the head of the executive branch, or is the executive branch. And if you watched on TV a couple of days ago, this part of the building where the Rose Garden is, there was an announcement that was made. And that announcement was for the person who is going to be serving, if she is confirmed, as the next justice in this building. Amy Coney Barrett was nominated to be our next justice who would serve on the U.S. Supreme Court from the judicial branch of our government, right? And then we have the third branch, which is the U.S. Capitol building, where our senators and our representatives meet and make the laws. And the laws are based on the U.S. Constitution. That's right. And the Constitution lays out those branches of government and how government will run. But when the Constitution was written, some of the states said we needed to have our rights protected, the individual person's rights protected. And so James Madison created, who was our what president? 4th president, wrote the first 10 amendments that were added to the U.S. Constitution. And those first 10 amendments are called the Bill of Rights. Those are your rights and your parents' rights. And they'll be your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren's rights if we maintain them. And that's your job when you become an adult. That is your job, to maintain our freedoms for posterity. That's what we say when we do the preamble to the Constitution every day, right? That we maintain these rights for ourselves and our posterity. Okay, so we're going to do the First Amendment together. So I'm going to say it, leave a little pause, and then you repeat, or you can say it with me if you know. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. I didn't leave you a space to say it. Let me try that again. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. First Amendment. Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Okay, let's say that one again together. This is the Second Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, found in the Bill of Rights. A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's right, your Second Amendment rights. And I'm going to listen this week to see how the students are doing in school. If you've started to memorize the first two, then we can move on to the third amendment. But until we're solid with the first two, then we'll just hold off. Okay, so we do have some birthdays today. And let me see where I put those birthdays. Oh, I put them on my computer on the screen here. Let's see, I wrote them down here. Oh, here they are. So, sorry about that. Lily S. is having a birthday, and Evora is having a birthday today. I hope you have a great birthday. Okay, so the only announcement is that we did have a positive case of COVID-19 here at our school, and I did send out a notice to families about that. It's going to be okay. These things are going to happen, and we're going to get through it. So there's no kindergarten until October 8th, so we can make sure that everybody stays safe. Other announcements, we still have space for students who want to return up to 5th grade. If you are wanting to come back to school for a few days, you can let me know. Also, the quarter ends on October 9th, which is about 10 days from now, and we need you to get your work done as much as possible so that we can do your attendance, which is based on how much work you do, and your whether you are passing that class, because we need to have a record that you are doing your work in order to move you to the next grade level for next year. Otherwise, you have to repeat the grade level that you're in. So we want to make sure that you're just doing as much of the work, especially for literacy and math. If you haven't, focus on those. If you're not caught up in literacy and math, get caught up in those in the next 10 days. The other things are there to help supplement, to help be extra things for you to learn, for history and science and PE, grammar. Those things are important, but I need you to do your literacy and your math before you do those other things. So make sure you get those done. If you're having trouble, parents, you may email the teacher, email me, so that we can get everybody caught up and ready to have report cards go out in about 3 weeks. So that's all we have for announcements for today. So let's say our student pledge together. I will do the good, I will learn the true, and I will love the beautiful. And I hope you have a great day today.